Hey everyone, Jzela here again. My wife and I, as you know, we are professional realtors in South Florida. And today we wanted to give a little bit of an idea of what a realtor is, what the life of a realtor is, especially in 2021. So, as professional realtors, we do a lot of things to provide information, to be accurate with information that we provide and things like that. And my wife and I have 5 years of experience dealing with real estate, plus 20 years of dealing with personal real estate, or real estate in a personal way. Right, baby?
Yes. So that's so important what Jamie just said, because it's not about only when we start our career. It's also when we start dealing with those real estate transactions that we start doing, and that's why when we notice all the needs and all the issues that come across to the way. So that's why we're so passionate about our career. And we want to help the others the way we wish we were helped in the past.
Right. Yeah, we came across some stuff in the past, but I'm sure everybody has. And that is not what we're going to go over today. That's not the topic. The topic today is about more what is a realtor in today's world, in today's market, and what do we try to do to connect with people in a real way, and in a way that you get to know us a little bit better, and we get to provide information up front, because in today's life everything moves so much faster. Information comes a little bit more faster, and you can have a lot of bad information, a lot of inaccurate information.
That's so important. Now social media, everybody's going, they see videos, they watch videos, they may not be accurate, and that's why we focus on to provide, educate you guys, give you the most accurate information, do the search for you, make things easier for you, because I know it's a lot of information. Like, you are not professionals on this. I mean, you're just trying to buy or sell a house the best way possible, right? But that's our job. Educate everybody, give them great information, and that's why we want to provide in videos to make it easier, right, Jamie?
Yeah. So yeah, with today's such a fast-paced world, information is important. Different ways to communicate is important, and for the information that we are providing is accurate. So to give you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing, for instance, today, what we're doing is we're going to preview some houses, because we're going to make some videos and we're going to comment on them. We already research information about these communities that we're going to go and preview today. And then we put them on videos so you can see them. So people can see them. We try to educate them with what is relevant to those properties, what's relevant to the community, what's relevant to everything around, right? And that's our main focus, to try to give information for those communities. And that's one way we try to connect with people, but at the same time we let them know who we are. We're human beings just like everybody else, and we're not just trying to, for instance, get a deal and move on. We really try to educate. We wish in the past, when we have our moments that we needed a real estate agent, that they were more upfront in some areas. They were more open to what our need was, and we noticed that it wasn't there. One area I felt like they were afraid. One area it was just not. That connection wasn't there. So anyway, when I think about this one, I think of one way. My way is, you know what? I probably didn't ask the right questions. I probably didn't know much. I probably wasn't educated enough. So I try to educate myself. Now that I'm a realtor, I understand why I know what I know. When I was only buying real estate, I couldn't know certain things that it was just not there. they been explained better? Of course they could have. So those are the things that I take into account when I meet someone, and I understand that this person is not a real estate agent, and I just try to educate them to what the process is, what are the things that they may need, what are the things they may need help with. And sometimes people is confused. For instance, I know one thing that we it comes across a lot, right? Is right, Kalina, when we get someone that is trying to buy a property and they're not paying attention to what they need, their needs are. They renting, for instance, and let's say that they paying around $2,000. Now, the same method that they use to calculate how much rent or whether if you can rent a property or not, it's the same method that a lender is going to use to see whether if you can buy a property or not. If you kind of use the same method,
process,
right? The same process to and percentage, and people don't know that, and unfortunately, they already have the money to be able to buy those properties, but they're just not educated enough. Correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So I think with these videos that we provide you, I see two important points. First, if you're looking to buy or kind of relocate in one area that you're not quite sure, we can kind of you can narrow down the ideas that you have in the way we show the videos, so you can have a better idea where is it that you would like to be. And number two, if you're looking to sell a property, you'll be able to compare the properties that are out there in the market, even if it's for rent or for sale, like Jamie's saying. So it's a great way to compare without being there present. So we can give you that market analysis in some point. But it's a great point that you're saying, Jamie, in regards the renting and buying. A lot of people, I'll say most of the people is ignoring. There is a very similar process, and you can be so close to buy, but because you don't have the information or you are just afraid, you don't think that's for you yet, you're missing a great opportunity. Right, Jamie?
Yeah, so put it in layman's terms, the issue is that sometimes people is able to buy and they just misinformed. And when they decide to make the move, what they do is they try to buy this large house that they're not ready for yet. So for instance, you see, the real estate investment is a very good investment. It's the only investment I know that goes up in value. And you can invest many other ways, but real estate, the reason why it's called real estate, because it's real, right? It's something that is real, tangible. So this is something proven for years, and it's proven almost in every corner of the world that real estate has value, because real estate is just not gonna go away. And even let's say that if you know the process when you buy a house and you're gonna insure, for instance, that house. You see, the one area that you don't have to worry about insuring is the land, because that's not gonna go away. You have to insure the building, but not the land. Why? Because the building can be destroyed, right? But anyways, when you're gonna invest in this one, it's most likely that's gonna go up in value, and depending on the market, right? And if it doesn't go back up in value for, let's say, 5 to 10 years, which will be very rare, because normally property do go up in value,
especially down here in Florida.
Right, and especially in this area. But anyway, so when the property will eventually go up in value, even if it halts for quite a while, right? But let's say that we, in a market like today, let's use today's market as an analogy to give you an example of what you can do to buy a house and be ready to buy the bigger house. So you have to start from the bottom up and not from the top down. Things work from the bottom up and not necessarily from the top down. So what I see sometimes is that people comes in, they want to buy a house, and they want this huge house, this large house that they're not ready for yet, right? Yes, they can get there, and there is a way to get there, but then they wait too much to be able to buy this house and then continue to rent. They wait too much to buy this large house. Or they trying to buy this large house, and then they could continue to rent this small apartment let's say a 1,000 square feet apartment and trying to buy a 2,000 feet house, right? When they could have bought the 1,000 square feet apartment. It could have been theirs. They could have paid probably less than what they're paying for rent. But another thing happens is that builds equity. So let's say that you buy an apartment that is only going to cost you, let's say that apartment is going to cost you monthly, right? Around $1,500 or $1,300, something like 13 to 15. So now, let's say that's what your safety net is right now, where you really are comfortable with paying that, you are able to pay that, and you're able to save. So now, what happens is, let's say that you were there for 3 years or 2 years. That property built equity. When you bought the house, also, you put a down payment. You see, that is equity, and in that house, in that apartment, that built up equity. Now, let's say that you want to move out of there in 3 years, and the house went up. Could have went up 10%. It could have went up 20%. We don't know, but what could that be? But you see, the percentage is percentage. The thing is, it's gonna go up. Now, the property that you're renting, that property went up. The question you gotta ask yourself is like, who did that property benefit? Did that benefited you, or did it benefited the owner of the landlord? So this is why start with a property that you're comfortable with, you're able to pay a month, and measure it for what you're paying in rent. That is okay. Don't have to buy the large house yet. But when let's say that you bought this small house, and now you feel like you're ready. Not only now you have more money for the down payment when you sell this house, because you built up all this equity, and now you can buy a little bit larger home. Let's say you're not ready you can move up to, let's say, another 500 square feet. So buy a 1,500. So you get the pattern, right? Right, Carolina?
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Who is paying for the property? In the meantime, you're renting, you're paying for, which at the end is going to be the landlord's property. So right. it makes a lot of sense that.
Yeah. It's so that is what I seen when you want to buy a property that you looking to live in, and you're looking to move on to a larger home eventually, and you build up, and because in that's what happens. And this is where people doesn't educate enough, or doesn't really perhaps ask the right questions, or doesn't research enough, to see what they can afford. So what I mean is, like, for instance, sometimes you come to me and you say, I want to buy this 2,000 square feet home, and then we go to the lender, right? And the lender says, well, you can only buy 1,000 square feet home. You can only buy a 1,500 square feet home. So even though you ask me, can you find me a deal for this 20,000 square feet? Because that's what I want. If it doesn't exist, if it's not in the market, it's not in the market, because it's just not. Depending on the area, you have to do the homework. I cannot find something that doesn't exist.
We will do the homework.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is, people have to do the homework in a way that what it is that they want. You see, I can help you. Doing the homework, but you can't ask me to help you buy something that does not exist. I have to be upfront, and my job is to say, look, this is what I can help you with. This is what our advisor is telling us. So this is these are the areas that we can work on, because as soon as you're trying to go here and you're trying to go there, we're not going to be able to find it, because we're looking in the wrong places. So we have to be upfront, and we have to be honest with each other. Me, as your advisor, I have to be honest and say, look, this is what we can buy now. This is the houses that are in the area. This is the price, and that's what you want to hear from me. What's what difference? I mean, what's the point of me telling you, I can help you buy this 2,000 square feet home, but if the price range is not there, I'm gonna waste your time. I'm gonna waste my time for what? So this is why I say honesty is important, and this is one of the things that we try to be is honest.
It's being realistic. That's in a very nice way, but it's so important to be realistic about your actual situation, which is our job, to help you to see things the way they are. and at the end of the day, it's going to be the most convenient for you, and it's just a process. Eventually you're going to be able to be in the place that you want to be, but it's a process. It's a growing process, like Jamie said, but it's just about getting started with being realistic.
Right, because I give you another example, for instance. Let's say that now this property is no longer a property you want to live in. You want to buy it. Let's say that now you tell me I want to invest in a real estate, and you say, how can you help me? And I can help you, but this is more complicated even than that. This is where you need to be a realistic. So yes, so as I'm saying about investing in a property. It's important that you have your numbers. And for instance, if you're going to invest in a property, sometimes what you need to take into account is that what kind of investment this is. Is it a long term? Is it a flipping? Is a property that you just want to get in and get out? You can even invest by just buying a contract, by the way, which is I'll make some videos about that one. But anyway, now let's pretend that this investment is for a property that you're going to look to rent out because you want to make some. What you want to build is that system that is explained by Robert Kiyosaki, the best one in the business, a greenhouse and a red hotel, where let's say that you're looking to have 10 rental units and you have your dream house, right? The greenhouse. So now let's say that you cannot buy the 10 rental units. And why do they use that analogy with the 10 rental units? It's because if you're going to invest in real estate, you have to measure. What you have to do is understand how much money can you make a month out of a rental property, that you're renting. So sometimes after all your expenses, which you're supposed to take into account, and this is where people make this bigger mistake is that they don't, you have to take into account all your expenses. You have to analyze every single expense, every single dollar, and at the end is when you say, this is what I'm left with. So let's say that you're left with $50 or $20 after you took all your expenses, you took everything, and now you say, okay, well, I'm left only with $50. This is why you have to measure it per unit. So let's say you have 10 units, and you are left at the end of the month with $50 out of each unit. This is how you're supposed to measure when you're trying to invest in real estate, and because what you're looking is, what is your bottom line? What are you really bringing in at the end of the month? That is how you measure that. But most people think that, okay, I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to charge so much money for rent. And I'm financing this, by the way. And now your mortgage is, let's say, $1,200, and your expenses are around $500 and whatnot. Now your mortgage is $1,800 or $1,600. I mean your rent. That's what you're getting for this property. Let's say it's so it does. Let's say that it doesn't cover the mortgage. Now you're underwater. That's what being underwater is, because you didn't do your numbers right. That's why you have to do your numbers right. That's why sometimes you're not going to really be making $1,000 or all this money that you somehow think that just one property is going to give you. You got to look at it when it's a long-term investment and you're going to rent it out. You're going to get the investment at the end of the day, but at the moment when you are just bought this property, you need to understand, what is it that am I going to make from this property? What am I going to bring in? What am I going to keep at the end of the month? And if it's just one property, it's going to be limited. You have to understand that. So this is what we do. This is what I study. These are the things that I can advise someone. And like I said, the safe number is 10 properties. If if you're depending on what you want to keep at the end of the month. But that is your safety net. That's where your number is supposed to be. So anyway, I'm gonna be making some videos about this one as well, this investment opportunities, and and how can you buy a 10-unit building or 10 units, even if they're not in the same building, and be able to keep them. And stay tuned for that one. We'll let you know when. So now, let me talk a little bit about this community that we're gonna preview. And my wife and I'm gonna make some videos, and we're actually looking for a parking spot. I mean, right now where we are here in Lake Worth, and it's more like Boynton, by the way. This community is really out west. It's if you know this area is right is shopping center here right off Hypaloosa and Lions Road. It's a really nice area. And this community there by D.R. Horton, by the way, there are townhouses. I mean, they are selling like hotcakes. I mean, we just had somebody in contract here, right? And it was just it's crazy how it's moving out here. So we're gonna preview now. We're gonna go and preview some property because that's what we do. That's our job, right? So we're gonna give you information about this community, what the price is, which by the way keeps going up. It just went up like 10 times. And look, the sign right there, it says sold out. I mean, because they cannot build these units fast enough. I mean, things are gone up so crazy, and it's because you'll be surprised if I ask you who's bringing up the market. I'm gonna go back around again because I think that we have no parking there. And it's surprisingly, who could bring it up the market? They selling. Oh my God, the sellers are being greedy. You know what? The sellers can ask all they want. If there were no buyers to buy these properties, they would not be able to keep bringing them up. But because there's so much people coming up, it's supply and demand, and people being desperate to get into a unit, that is making this happen. I mean, so now we have this supply and demand issue, which was created by the buyers, the same people that is suffering because the prices keep going up. Is the same people that bring up the market the way it is now. So anyway, my job is, like I said, tell it like it is or like I see it. And now my job is I'm gonna go ahead and see if they have a unit available to ask the preview. It looked like they only got one left because, like I said, they have so much demand that I think they got that one. Yeah, one. Wow. Okay. So anyway, stay tuned for this video. Be in the lookout, please, for this one. D.R. Horton in Lake Worth, and it's a new construction. All right, and that's what we're gonna name it. And we're gonna put the title in. All right, so stay tuned, and we're gonna continue with this video that we're doing right now. The life of a realtor in South Florida. My wife and I. And did you want to add anything maybe about this community?
Just stay tuned. You can enjoy the videos. New construction. Who doesn't love new construction, right?
just finished the first community that we are supposed to preview today, which is a new construction, and we're gonna go to the next community that we're gonna preview, do a video, get some information. We have some information, like I said, and all this. So by the way, these videos are gonna be, we're gonna post these videos in our channel. If you want to look for videos, we kind of trying to cover every topic that is. If you think of any topic, anything you want us to cover, we'll be happy to do that. We'll be happy to cover it for you. We live in South Florida, as you can see. We can cover any town, shopping, anything that you want us to review, give you more information about, or give you the distance from one area to the next. We can cover that. So I originally moved from New York to South Florida, and one of the things I remember when I was moving down here was that when I arrived, I didn't know much. I knew Palm Beach. I knew Palm Beach is one of the most wealthy counties in Florida, and I knew that at that time because the whole scandal had happened with the meltdown, and I guess everybody remembers Madoff, the one that actually had the Ponzi scheme where he ripped off a lot of people, and a lot of those people actually lived here in Palm Beach County. And now we know him for our ex-president that lives here, Mar-a-Lago. Everybody probably knows that. So anyway, we have a lot of real estate. We have a lot of stuff out here, and we love it. But when I moved here, I guess I had to do my own research, and I was lucky that I ended up in an area that I did like, but just as easy, I could have gotten to a different area, because I did look in other areas, and I noticed that now that I know the area more, that I would not been happy with. And so things like that, anyone needs an advice, we'll be happy to. We know, especially if you're moving out of state, we know what the process. We know that we understand that you don't know, because we went to that experience. So we will try to answer the questions, so give you the guidelines as much as we can, and the ones that can be helpful, especially for someone that is moving out of state. Right, Carolina? What would you say?
Yes, I'm just thinking about when we moved to Florida a couple of years ago. Like Jamie said, I remember that I made my search in regards to the areas. I like lifestyle. That's why we're here. I love to work out. I love to go to the beach, good restaurants, and that's definitely something that we're looking for when we move down here. The weather and all the outdoor activities that we get to be able to do. So I know that a lot of people is trying to relocate because that's what we're looking for. Good kind of life with our families, and that's why we're here, help you with that, to make those
Hey, how are you?
decisions.
So we are we're here at preview a house, and the address is 9839 Porta Leona Lane. Yes, and we are realtors, by the way. We good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, yeah. Normally they ask for more information, by the way.
So that easy to get in the community.
Yeah, this is not so much a problem. So now we gotta find the address. Let's go this way. Porta Leona, and things like that. I'm gonna finish what you're doing. Don't worry about it. She's doing a video, by the way, and on the other hand, we've been recording one area in the next. 9839. Yeah, this is Bellagio, right? Bellagio. Okay, and that's what? It's not Bellagio.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up on the phone. Yeah, we're good. You got everything. No worry. Yeah. So, yes, we were saying that for anyone that is looking to relocate for out of state and down here to Florida, anything that you need to know, anything that you want us to help you with, you don't be afraid. You can reach out, and we will try to give you whatever information that we can. And then we will look for the areas, for instance, that can help you with the relocation. For instance, sometimes I remember me when I was moving down here, the airport, I didn't know much about it. The hotels in the area didn't know much about it. The restaurants or areas to go, didn't know much about it until later on. I kind of was looking for those guidelines, and so this is one thing that I always that I'm ready for someone, that if someone says, hey, where can I go, what town, and I know what they're looking for, I know where to direct them to. That's important. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's so important. We did it. We did it, and so we definitely know the points that everyone is looking for. Of course, we personalize it to every single client that we have, and we really take it like is doing our best to get the best result out of that, because we know how important it is to be a guide to the directions that we really want to be at. We have a few experiences. Not all the advices were the best ones, but we definitely have an idea, a very clear idea, the way to guide those who are trying to relocate from another state, especially those who comes from north, since the weather, is all the opposite from here. So we definitely know what they're looking for, and it's fun. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
Big one.
yeah, I know, I see it. And yeah, be on the lookout, by the way, if you're out of state, for the iguanas. You don't want to run them over. And so anyway, the other thing I think it is important is to when you're looking for a community or the area, especially me moving out of New York City or New York, the communities, gated communities, they were not as popular up there, and over here they are. And most of if you're going to buy new construction, is going to be in a gated community, most likely. So that is another thing that we know that it might not be the norm for some people, and we understand that part, and that's, I think, another area that we have to consider here, because if you move into a community which is a gated community, then there's going to be a fee associated with that, and also we have, which is the membership communities, where in top of the HOA fees you have to buy a membership, you have to buy this, you have to buy that. So things like that. Sometimes you may come across a house, and the house could be $200,000. You'd be like, oh my God, this is a beautiful house, and this and that. And they don't tell you that you have a capital gain, a contribution you have to pay for an extra $150,000, an extra $70,000. So at the end of the day, the price is really not going to change. You just have to pay it in a different form, and you also have to pay other yearly membership fees, which depending on which community, it could start at $7,000. By $7,000, it goes all the way up to like the hundreds of thousands. So there's a lot to learn, but that's what we're here for. We don't want. I mean, like the point is that we don't want you to waste your time looking for properties or getting enthusiastic or getting excited about certain property or certain community that maybe it's not gonna be the best fit for you. And because we don't want you to waste your time on that side, that's why we are here to provide the best information, so you really know what it's all about. Because, like Jamie said, it's very different from many other states, and that's why it's so important to be informed. What's the number of this one?
9839, right here.
Right. So we're back, and we are about to exit the last tour that we did today, Again, just to remind you, this is the life of a realtor in South Florida, and we left this other topic so we can give you a little bit more of guidelines. As you know, we are professional realtors in South Florida, and we focus on helping. Our main product is residential. Our main service or expertise is in residential. So we've been talking about buyers, how helping buyers, but one of our main focus is sellers. Sellers, we do help out sellers to help sell their home, have a strategy in place so they can sell their house and get what they want. What happens sometimes is, especially in today's sellers market, most sellers, of course, everybody wants the most they can get out of whatever product you're selling. But the question is, can you price it right so it will sell? And can you have the right strategy in place so you can sell this house, right? This house that you're looking to sell. So what would you say, Carolina, you've seen sometimes with some people? What is it that you find that they mostly need help with, or they may not understand correctly how this works?
Well, real estate is a business where we need to go. We are around people all the time, so we really need to enjoy what we do to, to make it happen. And I just have noticed that sellers get overwhelmed because the market, the current market, that is what we live in right now. It's very they feel that they are able to, let's say, they can overprice their house and they're gonna get it sell at that price. And of course, we are looking for a win-win situation for everybody, but like I said, sellers get overwhelmed. I think they really need to go to the direction where thinking in a realistic way, so they don't waste their time and they are really able to make top dollars for their property. We like to our start point is being realistic. I think time is priceless, so the more conscious about what you're doing and the actually price that you put in your property to sell fast, the less time you waste, the less stressful it's gonna be, and so the smoother is gonna be the process. That's so important, being honest. I mean, don't I rather under promise and over deliver instead of doing the way around. And I feel that a lot of people is professional real estate talking wise in that way. I have heard, and being honest, there's a lot of unprofessional real estate agents, and they are looking after people's money and they don't think about the others. They are per se a little selfish. So for me, like, being honest, being transparent, and being ourselves is what really makes a difference. And I think we stand up because we are authentic, and of course the strategies that we use are to ultimately get the best results for our sellers.
Yeah, so I would say that sellers, they need to consider that when they are trying to sell their house, most of them is a house that they used to live in. Of course, for everyone, when we own something, is the best. But we also need to be realistic, like Carolina says, and put a strategy in place. So now, even though today most people perhaps have gotten a little cocky or got a little bit over themselves, a little bit confident, because they have been able to get some pricing or price that was a little bit over their asking price. This is not the normal market. In fact, this is a very dangerous market. When you have that, you need to have a little bit more stability in the market. But so let's talk about when we have a healthy market, when it's a normal market, right? So how do you prepare? And that's when you really need to consider have the right strategy in place. You really need to have a strategy to be able to sell the house. And there's many different strategies that we can use, right? I mean, me as a realtor, I'm gonna not just study your home. I'm gonna study the area. I'm gonna study the communities around the community that you live in, and do all the research that includes what the houses are selling for the past 30 days, for the past 3 months, for the past 6 months, for the past year, for the past 2 years. That's kind of what the data that we use, depending on what the inventory is, what the traffic is in those areas. This is what we're looking for, because we need to see it when we're pricing a house from the eyes of a appraiser. And we as realtors, we are appraisers ourselves. But now an appraiser, what they're really giving you is an opinion, right? That's what it is, right? So I can hire 3 different appraisers, and they can come and do an appraisal in your house, and I bet you I'm gonna get 3 different numbers, because it's just an opinion. So now numbers don't normally change. The number that moves will move the price of your house will be the quality, of course. Square footage. Square footage is the number one. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for. What the square footage is, and condition, of course.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that absolutely, I get a lot of our clients asking, oh, can you get an appraisal based on square footage? We actually gotta be in the property to see many different points of the conditions. Like Jamie said, we can base on square footage at some point, but to go more in detail and have a specific number, right, closer number, we definitely need to review the house. That's the number one thing that we need to get done. And I think that staging the property, making some adjustments, and doing the right advertising and marketing, it's crucial right now, because like we always mention, that's the way things are moving right now. Everything is online, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of stuff that you can do, but there's so many different strategies, there's so many different programs, there's so much different other stuff that we can do. So for instance, let's say that you have a house that it really needs a lot of work, and let's pretend that this house it needs a little fix it up, right? We are in that type of home, and let's say that now you put the house in the market, and that's going to be taken in consideration, all the condition of the home, and that's going to bring down the value. But now you feel like, all right, I have to sell this house and I have to sell it for less. Now there's different programs, right? And that's why we come in, because we have the information, we know the different programs that we can do. So now let me give you an example. Let's say that I came to your house, I saw your house is in bad condition, it needs all these repairs, and you don't have the money to do the repairs, right? So now I can give you options. I can say, look, I can bring someone in here, we'll take care of the repairs, they're going to give you an estimate, and you don't have to pay into the closing day, and you can profit without having to sell your house under volume, because we can use different programs. So the repairs can get done, and we can sell this house. And especially, you're going to say, well, we get somebody involved. Is that that will, like, it's based on contract. So they'll give you an estimate, and they're going to do the repairs, and you're going to decide whether if it's a good deal or not. And that's just one strategy. And we got many more, right? We got many more different ways that we can do it. I would just give you an example on one. But there's a ton of different ways. So you can sell a house, and you can sell it also quick. Yeah, I mean, I can actually come in there, give you a cash offer right on the spot, because we have the investors. We know who can invest in these properties. If you agree with the price, boom, they give you cash. That's how it works. And it was working like this in the past. Like I said, I don't focus too much on today's market. Today's market, yes, it's there. It's very easy to sell a house today. I can put a nicer strategy in place, and boom, we can sell the house in 24 hours. I mean, that's what today's market is. But this is not going. That's not going to be forever. This is going to end very soon, and then we get to the normal market. So this is why we put this in video, and we're just letting you know that as experts, as the ones that know what that's our job. Our job is to find you ways so you can sell the house, so we can help you. That's what we do. And the beauty is that all of these things are built into the price. You already know upfront how much you're going to pay. I'm going to give you all the breakdown. You're going to have all of this. So there's really no there's no surprises. And we prepare you for that. We prepare you to list your house in a seller's market, and we prepare you to sell your house in a buyer's market. It's just what to have the right strategy in place so we can get this done. The housing market will always move, and you can always do business, an upside market or a down market, right?
Absolutely true.
Yeah. So we are a team, my wife and I. We're growing our company here in South Florida, and we wanted to give a little bit of feedback to everyone, to all of those out there watching, that in anything that you may recommend, anything that you want us to do, please don't be afraid. Just type it in the comments below. We will love to hear from someone that needs help. That's what we love. That's what we like. We don't mind at all for you to ask us to do a video for a topic that you will consider. We actually will be glad to do it. We do these things because we like to help people in one end, and on the other hand, that's our business. That is what we do. So if you're a seller, like we said, we are here with experts. We can give you different the strategies. We can come up with different strategies so we can help you with the sale of your home. We can give you different options, and we can definitely help you. If you're a buyer, we have a program for you as well. We can help you. We can tell you. The key is honesty, that we want to be honest with you. We want to be honest with ourselves, because I tell you, I don't want to put a house in the market that's not going to sell. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. I want this house to sell. So I want to put a strategy, and I want to present a strategy to you that will make sense. I totally understand that you're trying to make money, but for the most, you want me to be honest. You want me to tell you the truth, whether if you're a buyer, whether if you're a seller, or whether if you're trying to rent. I mean, we work with that. We don't really do rentals no more, but we can definitely connect you with someone if you're looking to do that. But we have expertise and everything. But and again, our main focus is sellers and buyers, and we do a lot of new construction here in the Boynton Beach, Delray Beach, Lake Worth area, in Boca Raton. We kind of cover all of this area. We know all of the new new construction going on here. Plus, we know all the new construction going on in the entire Palm Beach and Broward County. We're very familiar with that. We even know Port St. Lucie, but we don't do that no more because it's a little bit too far from us. But if you're looking to either buy or sell real estate in Palm Beach or Broward County, we can handle it. We can do everything. You can see we do videos. We already out here doing videos. A lot of our colleagues, unfortunately, they're not doing that, and that's okay. I mean, everybody has different strategies. But today in today's market, in today's real estate market, everything is moving. I mean, not just real estate, and almost everything via video. This video is about education. We providing this education, but you can see or you can hear, for what we're telling you, what we know. We're giving you, put in the end video what we know. So we telling you how this is us. It's not like we're gonna put this video this what we used to look photo. I mean, for instance, this is what we've seen, right, in the past, where we went and hired a realtor, and then the photo and the person looked like when they were in their 20s, and then somebody showed up, and then we were like, oh, where is your son, or where's your, we thought that was the grandma, and you know, because so we are ourselves here. This is who we are, and by doing this is the same strategy that we're gonna use when we're gonna promote your home. And the beauty is that, you know what, we're gonna connect you with everything. You're gonna be in, as soon as your house, if you're listing your house, goes on the MLS, it goes all over the world. Everybody gets to see it. And because we do videos, because we handle social media very well, it's blasted everywhere. And if you looking to sell a house, you want me to go do a listing presentation, we will tell you, we'll give you the breakdown, exactly what we're going to do, and you're going to get to see why it is that we are so confident, especially today, that we can sell you your house in 24 hours, because it's about the strategy that you put in place, especially in today, that can sell your house. But it doesn't matter what. I see a lot of for sale by owners that they had their house in the market for a month in this market, and they're not selling it. Why? Because that's not what they do. And you know what the problem is? They underprice their home. Most of the time, those houses, the studies show us this again and again, they always end up underpricing it or overpricing it, and they don't get to sell it. Then they drop the price. Again,
that make you like 20% less, 10% less. That
exactly.
You will be.
Right, and they make 20% less, and we only charge 6%. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. So anyway, if you're a for sale by owner, you want to get an extra 4% on your house,
let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's do business.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do that. We'll do that for you. So again, it's we kind of getting back now to our house. I hope you like this life of a realtor, and we're not done yet, because we still have another the part where we had to finish up with the video at home, and we're gonna finish this later on. But I'm not saying goodbye yet. I'm saying goodbye for now. It's a little bit later, but please, again, let me remind you again. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. And my wife, what you gotta say, baby?
Just make your comments below. Please, I love your comments.
All right. So I drop off my wife at home, gonna pick up some food. So now, the next topic that I want to cover is short sale. How to short sale, or what are the benefits and what not if you need to short sale instead of foreclosure. Right, because that's what is at stake. Whether if you short sell a property or wait until it's repossessed, foreclosure. So I think, especially now with the options that you have, if you are coming, if you see that is what is approaching, and you at that stage, whether you have to choose whether if you need to short sell a property, it's probably your best option, because it will take longer if you go through a foreclosure. That is the one area where you don't want to get to. So there are many benefits if you get to it early and analyze whether if this is something that is suitable to you. Now, as an advisor, what I've been looking for is, first, is to connect you with an attorney who is going to handle this. Because you see, you need to understand that these programs, they don't cost you anything, especially if you get to that point, right? So why would an attorney help you with no money? Well, they do make money. The issue is that the bank will pay them. That's how it works. So we know the attorneys that specialize in this, and it's a very easy process. They will answer you all of the questions you may have, and they will tell you what it is, what the process is. Like I said, the sooner if you feel like you are at that stage where you have gotten in trouble with the property and you need to get rid of or sell it or whatever, then we have to analyze what your best options are. But I will say that if you are at where it went too far and now you're foreclosing, that's it. The bank has spent too much money in, and as soon as they are using that attorney on their own and they cost too much money, they're just not gonna go. They're not gonna give you that option. That option is there because the banks rather have you short sell than get to all the foreclosure, because it's gonna cost them more money, and that's why they do have the attorneys are paid by the bank, and they are there to help you with that process, so you can go ahead and take advantage, use the right tools, and answer all the questions you may have. So if you're someone that is in trouble, don't worry, don't forget, my information is in the description of this video, and just reach out to me and I will connect you with someone that can help you in anywhere in the country. Even if it's not Florida, I can help you elsewhere as well, because we do our national broker is actually worldwide, where we have agents all over the world that we can connect you with. If we don't work in that area, but I'm gonna make sure that I connect you with the right person that can guide you through the process, and I will do my job to recommend you to someone that can help you. And like I said, we know each other, so that's how this works. Now, and the next topic I wanted to touch is first-time home buyers. I know there's a lot of programs and information, and there's a lot of information that is fake information, that is not real, that is just more like it's being used, a tool that is being used to generate a lead, a contact, to communicate, to find out who may be a potential buyer. And a lot of agents or companies and whatnot use that just so they can get to you, right? And that's their job. Obviously, it's not that they're doing anything illegal or wrong. It's just that's their job. But anyway, I like, as I told you, I like to have be honest. So what I will say about this one is, yes, there are a few programs and there's some discounts you can get when you buy a property as a first-time home buyer, and that would be a question more for the lender. The other one, because that will only apply if you actually doing financing. So that would be a question for the lender, and I can connect you with the lenders that they have different programs, so they can help you with different types of credits that you may be entitled to. And by the way, just because you're used to own a home in the past, and now you're gonna buy a new house, you will say, oh, well, I'm not a first-time home buyer no more. Actually, that's not true. I believe the rule is every 2 to 3 years, depending on what the state is, you're qualified for the first-time home buyer credit, if that's what you're looking for. So that is one way where you can that is what is available for the first-time home buyers. Now, I think people think that they somehow gonna get some money or some kind of other help. It's just credits. It's not really, you're not gonna get any money or things like that. There's grants that are given by your local government or federal, but that's outside those credits that you may get as being a first-time home buyer. They are grants that kind of apply to everyone depending on the income and whatnot. You have different grants, and also you have depends on the time of the state and how much money is available. That's how that works. Sometimes as early in the year you have more money available, or some programs that just completely run out immediately. And so that's the other things you got to be in the lookout for. We can connect you with lenders that specialize in this for find you this type of grants or programs that exist, so it can help you buy a house if you don't have the down payment or if you need help with that. Other ways that we can do things, like for instance, if you don't have enough money for the closing costs, because that's another thing a lot of people doesn't know what the closing costs will be, and I will say that is something that's why you need to talk to a lender as soon as possible, so you know what it is that you need. You know what the that you need. You know what the process is. You know what you need to do, or you know how much money you have. That is important. That lender needs to know this, because he needs to know how to advise you. Now, there are ways that we can. Let's say that we're looking for a house, and then you need a money, for instance, for the closing cost. Let's say that you don't have $1,000, $1,500, or $3,000, whatever the case may be. Right? It could be up to, I think, the one person, their hires I have helped them get, it was $10,000, and that's not with the new construction, by the way. New construction is notorious for doing that with the help of the closing costs. But we call it a seller concession, right? So where we can go to the seller, and let's say the house is listed for $400,000, and then we go to the seller. Look, I have a buyer that is willing to buy this house for $390 if you leave $10,000 on the table. In other words, we're gonna buy it for the $400,000, but $10,000 is gonna go towards the closing costs for my buyer. That is the one way that we can use to bring up extra cash if we need to do that. And again, it's gonna be a lot of variance. We will have to study what it is in this market. It's not gonna happen. It is impossible. No, not impossible. I wouldn't say impossible, but we have to we have to find the right situation, the right house, the right everything. All the pieces has to be really there for this offer. For we can make this offer. So this is why my expertise come in, and I'll tell you whether if a house is ideal for that, if that's what you need to use or whatnot. Yeah, that's another way that we can raise money for the closing costs, and get you into a house if that needs to happen, right? But again, the ideal way is to, if you have the income, save up the money for the closing costs and talk to a lender sooner rather than later. And the only reason why you want to talk to the lender at your earliest, I mean, as soon as you think that you want to buy a house, is because you need them to guide you. You need them to give you the information which is that you need to buy this house. You need them. They are the ones who's going to tell you, look, you need to put so much money down. You need to have so much money for closing costs. You need to have this. You need to have that. And more important, they're going to tell you, look, this is $350. Is what you loan can be. That's what the bank is willing to lend you, based on your income, your credit, and everything else that may be involved. Those are the critical pieces that you need to be in the lookout for when you're looking to buy a property. Okay, because if you don't know what it is that you're looking for, how can you buy? You can come to me and say, oh, I want to see this house. And my next question is going to be, okay, sure, absolutely, we can see it. And who's your lender? How are you paying for this house? And if you say, well, my bank, I want to use my bank, and okay, do you have a pre-approval? And some people went there, they're like, oh, what is that? I'm like, well, how do you know that your bank is going to lend you money? Or how much money are they going to lend you? This house is $500,000. How do you know that you can't afford it? I mean, it's ridiculous, but this is not the way that you want to. That's not how you are ready to buy a house. In order for you to, the way you get ready to buy a house is by talking to the lender, finding out exactly how much house you cannot buy or afford, and then you'll come to me and we start the search. But I need to see guidelines from the lender, because I don't. You come to me and you say, oh, I make $100,000. That doesn't mean nothing to me. You can make $1 million. It still doesn't mean anything, because if you're gonna borrow money, if you need to borrow money, I need to see how much is the bank is willing to lend you. That's what I want to see. I don't need to know that you make $1 million. That's not my problem. Your income is not my problem, to be honest. My only question will be, are you paying cash for it? And if it is cash, okay, and I'm gonna need the proof of funds, and then and if you are doing finance, and then I need to know who is going to lend you the money to buy this house. So anyway, that's how it is, and we're going to start a new topic as soon as I come out with my food. All right, let's move on to the next topic. And now I'd like to talk a little bit of about new construction and also over 55 communities of lifestyle. So new construction, it's very popular here in Florida. We build a lot of new construction. I mean, our population continues to grow more and more because we get so many retirees, many baby boomers that are looking to retire as down here in South Florida. Well, the entire state of Florida. So anyway, as it comes down to new construction, a lot of people, they as they are aware, they don't have to use us realtors. They can go ahead and use the builder directly, and use a realtor, a real estate agent that will represent them, or represents the builder in this case, I should say. This is a person that normally will not work on commission. Normally they are on salary, but they are still licensed realtors, so they have to obey by the rules in the code of ethics that we all will always follow. Now, the one exception is that they are for them, because they being paid the way they're being paid, they are representing the builder. Because the way it's structured is that you can, as a realtor, you can only represent one side of the deal. If you're going to represent both sides of the deal, and then you have to disclose that you can only operate, that you will have to operate as a transactional broker or agent, and you're not committed to any size. So this is where I tell people, especially buyers, when you're gonna buy new construction, it's not gonna cost you anything. I really don't understand why some people will not use an agent who is being paid by the seller, the builder in this case, because they pay my commission, but I'm gonna represent you, because if I don't work at a builder's office, I don't represent the builder, then I'm gonna represent you. So if you contact me directly and I bring you to the builder's office, then I am entitled to represent you. That is the way it's structured. That's the law. Now, if you go there and then you ask for my representation, you already saw the builder. I can't represent you anymore, because I can't. You already went there by yourself. So this is why it's important and it's critical that if you need help, assistance with buying a new construction, and you would like to have the free advice from a realtor, that you come to me first. I'll do the research. I probably will advise you to compare other communities similar to this one, because I will know them and I'll know where, and I will guide you. Plus, I have all the information close by. I mean, I will do all of this for you. You just tell me what it is that you need, and I will just give it to you. So why wouldn't you use this service? It's just that at times I just don't get it, because I go to a builder and I see so many people buying properties there, and they being misrepresented. They don't have no representation, and they feel like, I guess because they see the agent there that is representing the builder is answering all these questions, which they will, by the way. Even if I represent you, they will, because they're the one who's going to answer the questions. It's just that I operate as your advisor, your attorney, for instance. In this case, that's kind of how it is. I'm there to provide legal representation, and they know I know the law, and they're not going to try to get away with things that they some of them do. I'm not saying that all of them do. But some people there, they do try to do things that they're not supposed to. But anyway, but that's not the reason why you want to use it. I want to make sure. I mean, that's not the only reason. But you want to make sure that you have legal representation. So again, especially with the lifestyle communities, there's so many different ones. There's so much that goes on. That I would say, if you're looking to buy in South Florida, reach out to me, reach out to another realtor that is familiar with this, and let them help you. Don't just go to the builder directly. It makes no sense. You're going to get the same house. You're probably going to get it for less. And or at least you're going to have all the advice that you need. Because sometimes, we know how it works. And we understand how things are, and we can see things also when a builder, for instance, have too much inventory, because that's key. If you're going to buy new construction and you want to get a deal on new construction, it's very hard. They normally do not. They're not willing to give you a deal on a house that is not built yet, and if it's not built yet, your best option is to get some better quality and upgrade. They're willing to compromise on that, not so much on the price. Now, if the builder has too much inventory, houses already built and are just sitting there not selling, that's another way to get a deal. Or even if it's just one property that, for instance, was in contract, then there was some deposit involved, and now whoever made the deposit is going to lose the deposit, and the house is ready to go. But whatever the situation did change, so they're willing to drop the price, because they want to get the inventory moving. They don't want to sit on the inventory. That's the last thing they want to do. So, and this is when we come in. This is when we have this data. We know what goes on. We know how to get this data, and this is why you need me. You don't want to go in there and start talking about pricing. You want to go in there and find out what the house is. They're gonna give you some numbers, and then me and you will talk about it, and then we decide whether if it's a good move or not. And that's how this is done. So again, it was a pleasure talking today about these different few topics. I hope you do subscribe to our channels. We have 3 channels. We have Homezela, Jzela, and Jzela, and we have different channels because we have different. For instance, we have one channel that we provide information in Spanish, and we have the other channels which belongs to our main company, which is my wife's company, and then my wife and I has each channel, one channel. So yeah. So please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to search for our names and subscribe to our channels. Like I said, we have different information, different content in the different channels, and I hope you did like the video. And please comment below. Please don't forget to ring the bell. That will give you will alert you when you need when we come up with different videos and new topics and things like that. And especially if you need us to cover any topic, let us know, and we'll be happy to do that. All right. So it was a pleasure, and I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to assist you. I'm here to advise you whenever you need. to the next video.